I'm going to show you how to make your car undrivable in 2 easy steps. It might be more than 2, I haven't quite figured this out. But we've got these stunning Waytech coilovers that I got for £250. And a cat. But tonight, an American hot rod. Cars may not be American. So we've got a 94 E36 Coupe. It's only a 320 though, but we'll ignore that part. So, stuff you will need. Axle stands are always a good idea. Coilovers, obviously. The jack. I only use the standard jack because the car's too fucking low to get my trolley jack under. Socket sets. And more coilovers. And it's always a good idea to chock the wheels as well. So yeah. Jack your car up. If you don't know how to do that, get the fuck off this video because you should not be playing with cars. So, starting with the rear, still jacked up on an axle stand. In the boot, it depends because some don't have these big speaker boxes, but if they do, you'll need to remove it and then remove the carpet so you can get to the top mount. I'd like to say I've already done this side, but the screws actually broke. But over this side, there are 2 screws. You can't quite see, but you'll find them. Undo those 2 screws, that box will drop out. You can then remove the inner carpet and get to the top mounts. So, next step. So, all speakers are removed. I can now get to the top mount. So what I need to do is undo those, which I think are 13mm, I'll double check in a second, and undo that one there, and that will take the strut out, and then we'll move on to the spring. So we've got one side done. I'm just taking off the other side with my 11/8, which turns out is 19mm. If you wanted normal sizes. I don't even know which one's imperial and which one's metric anymore, but when I take that out, because I've already undone the top, it dropped straight out. Getting the spring out is a case of just creating a bit of space and it pulls. This is a lowering spring, so that one was pretty easy to get out. However, the black one is a standard spring. That was a bitch to get out. The yellow one is the ones that come with the coilover, and the blue ones are the lowering springs I've been running on. It did sit pretty low, but it's going to sit a bit lower on those yellow ones because there's a small but significant difference. These are adjuster cups. Adjuster cups are for pussies, so we won't be using those. So, installing the spring is easy. There'll be 2 little rubber seats, one there and one that sits on the top there. I find it a bit easier to place it on the spring first. Sit it in the bottom. Use a little bit of leverage with your foot. If you've got a friend, get them to help you. And, hold on a second. By the magic of TV, it is in. So yeah, I literally just put my foot on there and pushed it in, but I needed both hands, so I put the camera down. Yeah, so next we put this back in, but not this one because that's the one I've just taken out. Right, so this may or may not be the right way to do it, but what I usually do is bolt the strut back up at the bottom, make sure it's lined up with the top first, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a bit of a gap before the threads push through the holes. So what I do is just stick my trolley jack under the trailing arm, and look at that. It lifts it back up into place. And it's also good because you can put a little bit of compression on everything and just check that everything's sat right. Or not, you know, you might just like to live dangerously, but that's what I do. Kick out. Anyway. So, rears are done, time to move on to the front. First of all, you need to undo the top mount and get my strut brace out of the way. Then there are 2 bolts either side, and the one that's on the top of the hub as well. So take all those off and take the coilover, take the standard shock out, and then we stick the other one in. So part whatever the fuck we're on now. Strut's been undone, hub's been undone on this side, the other one's a bit stiff, and that just lifts the fuck out. Yeah, I think there's going to be a bit of height difference in these. I may have to wind these up before I actually drive anywhere. But yeah, next one goes in. Arguably, it may have been easier doing it the other way. I'm sure some keyboard warrior will step in and tell me, you did it all wrong. But I've just done my trick with jack again under the arm, just so I can get everything lined up before I put all my bolts back in. So that's one coilover in-ish until I get around and tighten up. Excessive use of cable ties. I'll just do this job on my E36, he said. It will be easy, he said. So yeah, this bolt was stubborn as fuck to get back in. I thought I'd got the bolts mixed up for a second, but I didn't. It was just having trouble going back through the hole in the actual hub, this bit. Lubed it up and it eventually went back in, so I just had to loosen everything, wiggle it about, get everything back in place. It's loosely bolted there, it's loosely bolted everywhere else, so now I've just got to tighten everything up and then do the other fucking side. Fuck my life. Additional note, yes, I'm well aware I need new brake discs, but hey, they still stop. Now this bit's really important. Coffee break. So my driver's side, because we're in England and the wheel's on the right side of the car. Yeah, the right side of the car. So I stuck a couple of bolts in, just hold it in place. Glad to say this one went a lot easier. Got those bolts lined up, that bolt lined up. Now I just need to tighten all this bitch. And yeah, see how fucking low it sits. And see how far up this driveway I cannot get. You may notice there's a few chunks missing. I did that. Yeah, it's good. Fits nice and tight. So yeah, coilover is in and bolted up. Yeah. Remember to re-clip these, whatever the fuck they are. I think this one's an ABS sensor. Even though this car doesn't have ABS and hasn't had since I got it, I've still got a sensor. Maybe it's brake pad wear, but I know for a fact that doesn't fucking work. Anyway, get the wheels back on. Ta-da! Coilovers are on. I haven't driven it yet, so I don't even know if it's... Who am I kidding? I know it's not going to be practical. But yeah, I can probably afford to go up a tyre size, to be honest. But we'll see.